Bring home the beef this October at the new Lloydminster Nissan. Finance any new vehicle with the new Lloydminster Nissan and you'll get a quarter of beef at Diamond 7 Meats for free. Selection is at its best at the new Lloydminster Nissan with an amazing lineup of cars, trucks, and SUVs like the incredible Nissan Pathfinder and very popular Nissan Rogue. Finance a new Nissan Frontier and fill your freezer this winter. Bring home a new Nissan and bring home the beef only at the new Lloydminster Nissan. Now on Highway 17 South. The new Lloydminster Nissan. We won't sell you a car, we'll help you buy one.
Local people. Local news and events. Local sports. Local matters. For all things Lloydminster area, this is Live with Kurt Price.
Hey, welcome inside the new Lloydminster Nissan, located on Highway 17 South. And for the month of October, right now, you finance a new vehicle with the new Lloydminster Nissan. You get a free quarter of beef from Diamond 7 Meats. Plus, you can get winter ready right now in our service department with 25% off wheel alignments, 15% off battery maintainers, and in-cabin heaters. Plus, get a winter inspection block heater and coolant test for just $19.99 only here at the new Lloydminster Nissan. And inventory is spectacular. We've got the make, we've got the model, we've got the right color for you here at the new Lloydminster Nissan. Gwen Mottram and Otis Rusling are joining us to take a look at some upcoming performances of the Vic Juba Community Theatre, and specifically the Shaela Miller performance, which is coming up on November the 7th. Which is a fundraiser here in Lloydminster. Plus, Mike Vanny will also join us to talk about a 24-hour gaming session that he helped create some years ago. It's called SpectreFest in memory of his brother Jason, with funds going to Crohn's and Colitis Canada. Superior Water specializes in nothing but water, and with over 22 years in the business, they're proud and they're confident that their water and their service is superior. For iron filters, water softeners, reverse osmosis distillers, chlorine removal, and H2S odor removal, give Superior Water a call at 780-875-6636. I drink Superior Water because I like the taste. I believe it is superior water. Well, just a couple notes here, including notes about the cougar. Lloydminster RCMP confirming and advising to the public of a cougar in the city limits. Spotted last night around 33rd Street and 45th Avenue on the Saskatchewan side, of course, and Saskatchewan conservation officers have been notified, and they have advised the public not to approach or feed the cougar, which you think might be common sense, but you just never know. Keep your pets indoors and unsupervised. Keep your food and your garbage inside as well, and keep your fences and your doors closed if at all possible. And if you see the cougar, you call the Lloydminster RCMP. They're better off at tracking that cougar, and they'll let Saskatchewan Wildlife know. 780-808-8400 is the name to advise the RCMP. Well, it was a bear in the spring. There was a badger not too long ago by the mall and right in behind the mall. And we still have peacocks apparently roaming around the city as well. So we're turning into some kind of forest here. Cupcakes for Caregivers is a way to honor those dedicated professionals in our lives, as well as reward those who go the extra mile and taking care of their loved ones. We've partnered with the United Way here in Lloydminster, Sobeys Lloydminster, and we need your help in highlighting the great work that our nurses and our doctors and our healthcare professionals all do. So you can nominate a nurse or a doctor or a care facility health worker today by telling us about them in an email. Direct that email to livewithkurtprice@gmail.com. You can also nominate the caregivers that take care of others simply because they love them, helping them get appointments, helping them get to appointments, helping them dress, helping them make their meals. And once again, all you have to do is send an email to livewithkurtprice@gmail.com. If you've got a caregiver in your life that you'd like recognized for their dedication and for their caring, they could win a signature dozen cupcakes from Sobeys here in Lloydminster, live with Kurt Price and the Lloydminster and District United Way. Hope you'll take some time to just jot it down. Doesn't have to be anything real long, but just what that caregiver does for you. My wife and I are taking a trip. We've always wanted to take a trip to Europe to see Holland and to go into France and see Normandy. And this spring, we're going to make it a reality. We're heading to Europe to see where our brave Canadian soldiers fought and sacrificed so much. And we invite you to come along with us. You go to lamberttravel.ca today and you can have a look at the entire trip. It was designed by us, mostly by Heather, because she went through and said, this is what we want to do. We don't want to see this because it doesn't really involve our Canadian soldiers. We want to go here because it involves our Canadian soldiers, like seeing specifically a Canadian cemetery. A concentration camp is on our list. We're going to Vimy Ridge, Passchendaele, Normandy, and more. So we start out on May 28th in Amsterdam, and we work our way through Brussels and up to Paris, visiting a bunker museum, the Somme, and there's a whole lot more that we're going to be seeing. So if you want direct information and we have answers to your questions, I know the lady you can call. Call Rachel at Lambert Travel. She's helped us put this amazing trip together, and she can answer any questions that you have. 780-875-4414. Well, a huge draw tonight in the Lloydminster Exhibition's Chase the Ace. The deck has been cut in half, so the deck down to 26 cards, with 26 being drawn tonight. That goes at 7:30 at the Lloydminster Exhibition, and it's over $78,000 now. So tickets start at just $10 each to get in on that draw, and you can go to Lloydminster Exhibition right there, or go to lloydx.com. You can go in person, or go to lloydx.com and find a way to get your tickets for tonight's big draw. The Synovus Energy Hub is hosting a couple of Halloween events on the final weekend of the month. Don Bowie told us that the Halloween Harvest will run October 26th from 1 to 5 and is a family-friendly event.
We have a bunch of crafts for the kids. We're going to have like a pumpkin patch, with pumpkin painting. We're going to have some other crafts, but also, a costume contest for the kids. For adults, we are not encouraging costumes, unfortunately, just because the staff there for the event will all be costumed. So we need to make sure we can differentiate between, that, but we are encouraging the children to come in costumes. And then in addition to that, we'll have a bale maze, on site, as well as outdoor games, so people can just enjoy.
He told us his favorite is that the Weaver House will be open and it will be turned into a haunted house. Very easy to go through during the day, not so much at night. Weaver Park After Dark is for the brave souls who want to travel through that haunted house at night and through the haunted park. Why would you want to do that? You can get your tickets and your time slot by visiting lloydminster.ca. I went on last night and bought some tickets. Not for me. My niece is going to love this. She just loves being scared. She's only 10 years old, but I'm like, this is right up her alley because she loves watching scary movies and stuff. And while most people are covering up, she's right there glued to it. So I think
taking her, right?
No, I told her, Dad, I'll buy the tickets, but you gotta take her.
Oh, you should go.
Well, I said to Heather last night. She's like, did you buy us tickets? And I'm like, no, I know what, I'm not going. She's like, well, I'll go. I'm like, you won't even watch. Like, I had trouble making her watch Sixth Sense because there was ghosts in it. Like, how are you going to go through a haunted house? Like, be serious, Heather. But she's like, well, so we might have to buy a couple more tickets.
I think you should.
I think you should too.
You know what I want to say, though? It is awesome that we're using Weaver Park so much.
Yeah.
Like, we got married there. And I was telling Don Bowie yesterday, it is so beautiful. Like, it's such a nice park. And there's so, like, it's a little bit of rural inside our community. But it has so much history in there as well. We just, like, We haven't seen all the pictures yet, but just the pictures that we've seen from Dick Harry moving tractors around and stuff like that, and get them. I can't understand why more people don't get married at Weaver Park. It was awesome.
I'm excited for this event. I see great potential because it is like a thing right now to do this kind of thing. So
absolutely,
I think it's going to be a hit.
Absolutely, and I hope they make it an annual thing.
Yeah,
like
so do I.
It becomes, The Lloydminster Chamber of Commerce is hosting a 2024 Saskatchewan Provincial Election All Candidates Forum for this area on Wednesday, October 16th. Oh, is that 1 week from today? My goodness, where is October going? It is. That'll run from 6:30 to 8 o'clock at the Lloydminster Exhibition at the WS Convention Centre. The election in Saskatchewan this year is officially on October the 28th, but you have a chance to vote beginning October 22nd. You vote all week except for on the Sunday. And we can confirm that Colleen Young will be joining us here on Tuesday, and Adam Trombley will be joining us on Thursday. And there is a United Saskatchewan Party candidate now running too that we will do our best to get a hold of. BioClean Disaster Services is committed, certified, reliable, and will help you get your life back. They'll take care of your belongings, they'll take care of your property, but what they really strive to do is take care of you and your family. They're Lloydminster's local restoration company. They're Lloydminster's largest restoration company. 1-833-246-8326, keeping you updated along the way and telling you what they're doing and why they're doing it goes a long, long way. 1-833-246-8326 for BioClean Disaster Services. Once again, hope you never need them, but if you do, that's the number. Those are the people to call. We'll take a break, and when we come back, we have Gwen Mottram and we have Otis Rusling here to talk about a specific event, November the 7th, with Shaela Miller coming. Plus, we're going to take a look at some other events that are happening at the Vic Juba Community Theatre and beyond.
For 110 years, Lloydminster and District Co-op has been part of your journey. To celebrate, we're giving away a truck built to keep you moving forward. This truck is made for your life, whether you're running a business, exploring the great outdoors, or just enjoying a family road trip. It's more than just a vehicle. It's our way of appreciating you, our members. Join us in celebrating 110 years of community and take your chance to win. Lloydminster and District Co-op. Members together, growing community.
How can you help support the oil and gas industry and jobs in Western Canada? The answer is closer than you think. Sell your scrap metals to PWM Steel. PWM sells scrap iron to Evraz, located in Regina. Evraz's #1 customer is the energy sector, building pipes and plates for the oil and gas industry. PWM Steel is your locally owned metal recycler and steel service center in the area. Plus, they're a strong supporter of the community. PWM Steel, your top steel supplier for Alberta and Saskatchewan for 40 years.
At Jason Vanny Associates Cooperators, we're proud to be a top-rated local insurance company that offers flexible solutions and expert advice for all your insurance and investment needs. We'll work with you to tailor your insurance specific to your needs, and we offer investment advice that always puts you first. At Cooperators, one of our core values is to give back to the communities that we live in. Thanks to the support of our clients in Lloydminster and area, in 2023, Jason Vanny Associates has donated $40,000 to local nonprofits, charities, students, athletes, and other special events. How does your insurance company support our community?
It's more than just taxes at L&A CPA. Assurance, accounting, retirement planning, estate planning, business consulting, financial consulting, farm program support, and bookkeeping. But yes, there is always taxes. The team at L&A CPA is committed to helping you achieve your best results and will be there to assist you every step of the way. L&A CPA, with offices in Provost, Vermilion, and Lloydminster.
Welcome back inside the new Lloydminster Nissan. We are pleased to have Gwen Mottram with us. She is the chair of the Lloydminster Regional Theatre Foundation, and we have Otis Rusling here as well, who is doing something special for the Friends of Weaver Park and also for the Lloydminster Regional Theatre Foundation. And we're going to get to that in just a moment, but we really appreciate them giving some time to us today. Thank you both for being here.
Oh, thanks for inviting us.
I'm going to pull that a little bit closer to you, Otis, just to make sure you're picking up. But I know you're here for, the main one is for Shaela Miller.
Right. On
November the 7th. Otis has the shirt on. He's a big believer in Shaela Miller and her music, and that's a good place to start. What makes Shaela so awesome?
I just heard her on the radio, and her voice really impressed me, and then she came out with the new album After the Masquerade, and the production of it, the sound of it, the fact she wrote it, she plays guitar and sings at the same time. She's just an awesome performer. I just really like her music.
And then you went to see her.
And I went to see her on May 4th, and she actually recorded at the National Music Center in Calgary, and she played there. They have a little theater, and she did her last album release show there, and I was not disappointed.
It's someone that you were telling me about a long time ago, actually. I remember having lunch with you at the Lloydminster exhibition, and you put Shaela Miller on my radar.
Yeah.
Yeah, you said you gotta look into this.
I try hard.
But
and so he's bringing her to Lloydminster. And
yeah, at that time she wasn't coming, but you made it happen.
Yeah,
Otis made it happen.
He's making it happen, and 100% of the ticket sales will be divided between Friends of Weaver Park and Lloydminster Regional Theatre Foundation. So this is an awesome, generous supporter of the arts in Lloydminster, in my mind.
Yeah, thank you for doing that, Otis. Appreciate it.
You're more than welcome. That's just what I have to do.
So, you're helping Shaela Miller get more recognized as well. We should note that. Not only raising funds for 2 different organizations, but also helping Shaela Miller.
Yeah, she's an
up-and-coming
Alberta artist, so she has great potential to go places.
Does she know that you're doing this? Does she know this is an Otis Rusling thing?
Yes.
That's okay.
Do you want to know how?
Yes.
So I went to May 4th in Calgary, and I knew that she had been in Saskatoon the night before, playing a small venue, and so I was talking to one of her, her synth player. I didn't know he was that when I was talking to him, but I said, so how did the show go in Saskatoon? And he said, oh, it was great. And I said, so how many people? And she said, he told me 50. And I said, 50? I could do that. I should bring her to Lloyd. And just stupid comments. After the show, I went to get an album, a CD signed by Shaela, and I'm talking to her, and then all of a sudden she gets a tap on her shoulder. That's the guy that's bringing you to Lloydminster. So I thought about it, and I came back and I talked to Gwen because she knows about that stuff, and yeah, we could do that. So, okay. But having said that, I didn't realize what a tough slog it is.
To sell tickets, to get...
The whole thing. It's just you go back and forth to her agent, to this person. We dealt with how many? 4 different people, and never did talk to her agent. But all these helpers her agent has, and this one's got this, and that one's got that, and it's a lot of work. Thank you, Gwen.
It's a process, but it was easy for me. So
good. So November the 7th, tickets are available at vicjubatheatre.ca.
Right,
Yes,
and
pick those up.
They're only $20, so it's a very affordable evening. And like I said, 100% of the ticket sales are going back to 2 local nonprofits.
Let's talk about where those dollars are going. Let's start with the Vic Juba Theatre and how you're upgrading.
Sure. So yes, our latest campaign is for moving lights. So the stage lighting at the theater has some stationary lights and some moving lights, and the moving lights we need to replace. The cost is $150,000, and fortunately, the theater recently was able to acquire some moving lights that is going to help extend the life of the system. There was an estate sale, and we were able to acquire some moving lights, but it's a massive project that we need the community's support for. So
I was at the Adele tribute the other day.
Yes.
And I thought the lighting was just so awesome. It added so much to the performance.
The moving lights, though, every time you turn on the moving lights, there's an error to fix, and so they're at the end of life, and so the new additional lights will help problem solve some of the issues that we're having. But they're going to die on us at some point, and we're not going to be able to reboot, and so they need to be replaced.
Some of the things you don't see behind the scenes.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's frustrating to always have to deal with. You know, you always have to clear an error, fix an error, or problem solve an issue. So they need to be replaced.
Now, the other part of the funds will go to the log church that's being renovated is renovated the right word? Rebuilt? Restoration project that's happening. I walk by there almost every day and see, it looks fantastic.
Yeah.
They're doing a fantastic job. You were saying they run into a few problems.
Yeah, so phase one is underway. The Friends of Weaver Park donated over $92,000 this year to phase one, and then phase two, I hope will happen next year. So there's an additional phase as well. But yeah, so they got in there and they're finding a few issues that they were unaware of. So
okay.
But yeah, it'll be great when it's finally completed.
That's a huge project. What's the cost of putting that project?
Well, phase one is over 400,000
alone,
and phase two, I'm not sure what it is, but so a third of that, because their ask for the phase two is about 25,000.
Yeah.
So
it looks great. They're doing a wonderful job on it.
It'll be nice to have that back open.
Yeah, absolutely. We've been talking about Weaver Park and how awesome it is.
You could have got married in the church, sir.
Maybe. Yeah. I have more friends to attend than that, Otis. I think. But, let's talk about more events that are coming to the Vic Juba Theatre and the theatre foundation is putting on.
Yeah. So in conjunction with the Moving Lights, next year the Theatre Foundation will do two galas. One in the spring and one in the fall, and I really want to highlight the one in the fall because it will be local performances. We heard a lot of people loved the grand opening. I don't know if you remember the grand opening, but it was a 4-day extravaganza with local talent. So that's what we're going to work towards next fall, October 22nd. We're going to have another gala extravaganza with lots and lots of local performers.
Who played the grand opening? Was the piano player?
There was lots of people. There was
specifically a...
Oh, you're probably thinking of Frank Palizzeri. Yeah.
I think so. Yeah, I remember. What year was that the Vic Juba Theatre?
2002.
It seems like even longer ago.
Yeah.
Isn't it?
So
have the lights been updated since then?
They have been. We didn't start with moving lights. Moving lights were added afterwards. And now lots of the touring artists that come into the theater want moving lights as part of their rider. So it's becoming more of a requirement. I know when the theater hosted the Saskatchewan Country Music Awards that we had to rent lights to bring those in, and that just added to the whole show. I thought it was like some of the artists, it just highlighted them so much more, and it just adds to your night.
Can you tell us who's kind of like what the spring one is, or is it too early?
That one is just a little too early to talk about. But
I could try. I tried.
yeah. And a couple of other things that we want to highlight with Friends of Weaver Park. Obviously, I don't know if you know this, but Festival of Trees is sold out.
That's fantastic.
Yeah.
At the Gold Coast Casino again this year?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. And but we do have cookies and carols on Saturday, November 16th. And it is open to the public, so people will be able to see the trees if they can't attend Festival of Trees. They'll be able to see the trees, they'll visit with Santa. There will be live entertainment, there will be cookies, and there is a Christmas bell craft as well. And admission is by donation.
Okay.
So yeah, Festival of Trees sold out very, very quickly. We're so excited that it did that, and we'll have to figure out next year, do we add an additional night or do we move to another location? So that's a great problem to have. It sold out so quickly.
Fantastic, yeah. Now back to you got more Lloyd local series as well coming.
Oh yeah, the final performance will feature 2 local performances, and it is the final Earl Stevenson and McKenna Gallagher are performing in November. And yeah, so that's the final. There was 4 performances. An anonymous donor sponsored the whole series. Yeah, so that's another one to check out.
What is Giving Tuesday?
Giving Tuesday, so it's a worldwide day where people support local charities, and it's a way to give back. And so that's another opportunity where the Lloydminster Regional Theatre Foundation will push for donations for the Moving Lights project at the theatre. Anything else coming up that you want to mention? No, I just really want to encourage everybody to buy a ticket to Shaela Miller on November 7th. Yeah.
Otis, what kind of music, Shaela Miller? How would you describe her?
Well, when she started, it was sort of Patsy Cline-ish, kind of, that kind of music, which she does well. Of course, not, And then with After the Masquerade, you have to say it's new wave. I don't really see the country in it, but
I can hear it in her voice. So yeah.
$20 tickets, just $20.
$20. There's not much you can do for $20 anymore.
No, and I'm excited to see her perform and see what Otis is so excited about. Yeah. Let's put it that way.
Yeah.
I promise you will.
Awesome. Thank you both. Appreciate it.
You betcha.
We'll take a break, and Mike Vanny will join us in just a moment.
At Diamond 7 Meats, we work with local farm families to provide a high-quality product and a great selection for you. Try our mouth-watering smokies, pulled pork, roast beef, and more, made pure and natural with no additives or fillers. We offer custom processing, and our experienced team works for you to provide a selection of sausage, burgers, and jerkies made to your specifications. Take your grilling to the next level with a Yoder smoker. Complete the grilling experience with a Canadian-made, award-winning line of House of Q barbecue sauces. We're locally owned and operated, and we look forward to seeing you today.
I'm Brian Zinchuk of PipelineOnline.ca. I used to be a pipeliner, and I've spent the last 15 years reporting on energy in Saskatchewan. PipelineOnline.ca provides comprehensive coverage of light oil, heavy oil, lithium, helium, power production including coal, wind, solar, geothermal, natural gas, and nuclear. There's a lot happening in Saskatchewan's energy sector, and Pipeline Online is there for all of it. No one else comes even close.
At CK McKean Roofing, they understand what it took to put that roof over your head for your family. With over 20 years of experience under their belt, they strive to show you that with their workmanship and their integrity. Not all roofing companies are created equal, and that's why CK McKean Roofing encourages you to focus on your most important investments, your home and your family. CK McKean Roofing. Roofers do it on top.
At Synergy Credit Union, we're more than just a financial institution. We're your partners in every step of your journey. From supporting local businesses to enhancing community life, we're committed to making a difference. Join us in shaping a brighter future. Together, we thrive, because this is Synergy.
Welcome to Care Freedom Living. Welcome to Wellings of Lloydminster, a 55 and over active community with gorgeous 1- and 2-bedroom villas. This community is perfect for those that are on the go all the time. And I mean on the go, traveling to different places, because once you are traveling, you get the bug. And you don't want to have to worry about what is happening back home with the big house. And if you're slowing down, it means it's maintenance free. So independent living, where you don't have to worry about cutting grass or shoveling snow, and you get to know your neighbors as well. It really is a community within a community. I suggest you pick up the phone and call Darlene and have a walk through one of their villas at 780-872-8537. They're located over by the new Petro-Canada 7-Eleven, and they're doing some landscaping, and they're getting their clubhouse underway. This gorgeous clubhouse is really going to connect the community. They're even putting in a pickleball court. Call Darlene, have a walk through Wellings of Lloydminster. It might be just what you're looking for because you're still active and still independent at over 55. Well, welcome back to the new Lloydminster Nissan, and really excited to have Mike Vanny join us. Mike's brother Justin got a hold of me on the weekend, started telling me about SpectreFest, and the more that he started telling me, and then Mike sent me a video, the more emotional I began to get about why these people do what they do, which is a 24-hour gaming session. Yep. Now, I'm not a gamer, Mike, but I appreciate anybody who can raise the amount of money that you guys have raised and do what you do. I don't understand gaming, so we're not going to exactly go there, but I'm a sports guy more than anything.
Fair enough, fair enough.
If you were watching 24-hour sports, maybe that
there you go.
I could be, but how you guys stay awake, I don't know. But thank you so much. Thanks to your brother for reaching out too.
Yeah, thank you.
Really appreciate that for getting in touch with us, because this is you don't hear much that's being done for Crohn's and colitis.
That's right. Yeah,
but you sent me a video and I'm watching the video, and you say in the video they're making headway.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, so we got involved with Crohn's and Colitis Canada around 20. I originally reached out in 2020. We started the event in 2021, and it's amazing to find out. We get in contact with people all the time, especially as we're doing this event. People will reach out and like, thank you so much for doing this, because Crohn's and colitis is one of those things that people don't like to talk about it, because, you know, with it being an inflammatory bowel disease, it affects your guts, right? So it's for some people it's embarrassing to talk about, right? And so one of the things we set out for was to get the word out, to say, you know what, there's nothing to be ashamed of, there's nothing to be afraid of talking about that. And in fact, we want to push forward and make sure that we're driving towards a cure, because that was something that directly impacted my older brother Jason, who had ulcerative colitis essentially, right? So, and yeah, I mean, we've met people from the organization. We've had people drop into the stream that are like, you know what, I've been suffering with Crohn's disease or ulcerative colitis for the last 20 years, and just seeing the headway that the organization is making with, you know, donation money. There's this breakthrough that they found in 2023 that essentially is these markers in your gut biome that can identify the kind of predetermining of Crohn's disease before you even start showing symptoms, so that they can get people on the path of recovery or prevention before things get out of hand even, right? So it's fascinating to see what's been going on.
So SpectreFest is named after your brother. Tell us about that.
Yeah, so you know, one of the things in the gaming community, everyone has like an online, like a gaming handle or a name, right? And so Jason, right from the beginning, used the name Spectre. That was just his online name, right? And so when I was speaking with my co-host Corey, we were trying to come up with like, well, okay, well, we want to do this event, what do we call it? And then almost simultaneously we came up with, well, we got to name it after Jason. Why not use his online gaming name? And boom, SpectreFest just came together.
How many years have you been doing this?
This is our 4th year. So we started in 2021. Up to this point, the last 3 years combined, we've raised about $12,000 total for Crohn's and Colitis Canada.
Do you specifically know where that money goes?
Yeah, well, I mean, as far as it goes to their organization.
But do you have something where like Jason dealt with this form of, so we want to focus it on this?
We had the opportunity to kind of request that, but in speaking with the organization, I said, you know what, we just want to push forward with the intention of pushing towards a cure for IBDs in general. And so what we asked was essentially, hey, you know what, we just want to raise funds for you, and then you guys decide how to divvy it out. We had somebody pop into our chat last year as we crested over the $10,000 donation mark. And they had identified to us, you know, it's $10,000 is what they need to start a research grant. And so while there may not be a specific like grant named in that space, the amount of money that we've raised has literally paid for one full research grant. And then as we continue to go through the years, it's just more going towards the cure, right?
Right. Tell me about your brother, Jason.
Sure, yeah. So Jason's somebody I've always looked up to. You know, I was the middle child in our family, right? So, you know, my younger brother, myself, and then my older brother, he was always the responsible one in our family, where he was able to save money. I was more of the spender. And so what ended up happening as we were kids, you know, gaming was always something that we had done, you know, the Nintendo, and then Super Nintendo came out, and PlayStation as we kind of moved through. He would save his money and buy these systems. And since that wasn't something that I was able to do as a kid, he would let us play with him, right? Because it's more fun to play with your friends and play with your family, right? So, and so he actually got us into it as well. I think back to some of the earliest memories of gaming, and he paid for all this stuff, and he's like, here, toss me the controller. We play, you know, Super Mario on the original Nintendo, stuff like that, right? He was diagnosed with ulcerative colitis in 2002.
How old was he then?
He would have been just over 20.
Okay.
He had moved away for college and got a job here at Lakeland College. And he had come home one weekend just to kind of, you know, do his laundry, come visit with the family and stuff. And he wasn't feeling well that weekend. That same weekend, he had woke up early in the morning, and he basically just passed out completely. We didn't know what was going on, called an ambulance. They took him in to University Hospital in Saskatoon, where they discovered, you know, you've got ulcerative colitis, because his iron levels were low, he was severely dehydrated, all of these other things. They had put him on a round of, there's all these different medications that are there, and essentially it put him on a big, like I think at the peak of his medication, he had something like 16 pills that he had to take every day of medications, vitamins, because essentially the disease just takes everything away from you, right? So you replenish it, right? And so fast forward from about that period, 2002. Fast forward to 2018, through the ups and downs of ulcerative colitis, Jason started feeling weak, tired, and food wasn't really sitting in his system anymore, which is something like your body just stops processing it, basically, right? As your colon and your bowels start giving up, kind of thing. Again, to the hospital, they decided at that time that they wanted to remove his colon, put in an ostomy bag, essentially, which is kind of like one of the final cures for ulcerative colitis, because essentially they just cut out all of that piece, and then now those ulcers aren't forming anymore. And so they prepped him for surgery and started getting the process going, but he was just so weak at that point that they couldn't progress forward with the surgery. They canceled and brought him out, and then unfortunately it was within maybe an hour of that he had passed away. And so my younger brother and I had kind of raced up to Saskatoon. My parents had phoned me early in the morning to let us know, like, hey, you know what, you got to come down and see. And I had mentioned that video, you know, like we were like, oh, what's going to happen? But in our minds, we were like, well, you don't get a phone call at 4:30, 5:30 in the morning to get up here if things are going well, right? So I managed to get into the hospital. About 20 minutes later, that was when Jason passed away. So, and I mean, the thing about SpectreFest, like, it's a sad story, but the reason why we wanted to do this event is so that, you know, we don't want to focus on that part of it. We want to focus on the impact that, you know, Jason made on our lives. And my partner in the event, Corey, and Jason were best friends as well. We all kind of just spent that time together. We wanted to make sure that, since Jason left a mark on us, that we wanted to have him leave a mark on the world, right? And what better way to do that than to work towards developing a cure to the disease that ultimately took him away from us, right? So
does Corey actually come down, or you guys just...
No,
he's
in North Battleford.
North Battleford?
Yeah, so the way that the event works is over the 24 hours, we split it into 6-hour segments, just so that, you know, 24 hours of me specifically talking, people might get a little sick and tired of that. So what we end up doing is we break it into 6-hour segments. where he'll be live for 6 hours and then I'll be in his chat and I help moderate. The internet being the way that it is, certain people get in there, we need to delete messages. We want to make the show as family friendly as humanly possible.
Right.
And so that's kind of, we just switch roles. So he's live and I'm moderating, and then I'm live and he's moderating. We do this basically back and forth for 4 blocks essentially, right? And during that period of time, we're taking donations live on the stream. For those donations, we've got donation goals, we've got rewards. Like one of the ones Corey will do is he's got, there's this game called Mega Man where the main character is like in this like blue suit of armor. Well, he's got like this like pajama type of thing. So once we cross $1,000, he puts that on and doesn't take it off for the rest of the event, kind of thing, right? We've got a few things like that kind of make the event fun, right? Because again, we want to focus on making sure that you know, we're not focusing on the bad memories, we're focusing on the good ones, and ultimately the goal of doing good for the world of IBDs, right?
Absolutely. So I don't understand how to get in there to donate. So if you're not a gamer, how do you donate?
Sure, yeah. So
if you're a gamer, you'll know right away.
Yeah, if you're familiar with like Twitch.tv, which is where we do the streams from, you can find us on those streams on October 19th through from 10 a.m. until October 20th, 10 a.m. My direct channel is twitch.tv/DG online. Corey's direct channel is twitch.tv/Dukey, DUKEY03. But to simplify things, because I come from a tech background, what I've done is I've put
I'm so jealous of you in that.
What I've done is I've put it into a shortened URL, so you can actually access the webpage that Crohn's and Colitis gives us a donation page every year. And so you can access that page by visiting tinyurl.com/SpecFest2024. And what that'll do is it'll take you directly to the page. There's a big purple donate button right at the very top of that page. That page also shows the video that we made for this year that kind of just talks about the event, what to expect, why we do it, things like that. And then it's got kind of our story in there as well. And then if you choose to donate at that page, that is directly to Crohn's and Colitis. Like that is their page. And even if you do choose to donate during the event, we don't see a penny, nor do we want to. We don't want that donation money touching our hands at all. We want it basically going as straight shot to them as possible. And so we use a program called Tiltify, which essentially it's the same thing as donating directly to Crohn's and Colitis, but what that'll do is it'll pop it up on the screen when you donate. So if you donate $5, this little graphic comes up, sounds play, it's kind of like the alarm bells go off, and then we read it out, and you get to see in like live action the whole thing play out essentially, right?
Right.
And so either option's available. Some people like to make a donation and just kind of keep it quiet because they don't want that kind of attention, and that's cool. That's why we offer both of those options, right? But it is fun at 3 o'clock in the morning to throw a $5 donation and see us like, oh, thanks a lot, that's really great, because we're like half asleep basically at that point, right? So, but yeah, it is a ton of fun.
Okay, I'm interested in the how do you stay awake kind of thing. Like
sure,
a lot of chips, a lot of
so
you should be eating fruit, but I bet you're not.
No, not at all. No, I come by it honestly as well, right? So energy drinks and stuff, they're all great, but we also have to watch that we don't like crash halfway through, right? Because you do still have to push no matter what.
What time do you start to get? Because you've done this 3 years.
That's right. Yeah, it definitely sets in. So we do the last changeover. Corey finishes at 3 a.m. and that's when I take in. The first couple of years weren't so bad because my wife and I welcomed our second daughter in 2018. So in 2021, I was still pretty used to being up in the wee hours of the morning, but that's getting, as we go later on into time here, that's getting a bit rough.
She sleeps through the night, you don't.
That's right, exactly. Yeah. And so where we're at now is that 3 a.m. change off. It's rough. But the thing that keeps us awake throughout the event is that live chat that's part of the stream. We have folks, we had at least 3 individuals who, I kid you not, they were there from 10 a.m. to 10 a.m. They were there literally the entire time. And so if you watch closely some of the, we try to save the video throughout each of the years. And if you watch closely those middle hours, you can kind of see us doing some of this, right? And almost certainly during those moments, somebody sends something in chat and it's like, you just wake right back up again. And it's just that level of engagement is what keeps us going. And like I said too, we have folks come into chat and they're like, hey, you know what? Thank you for doing this, because this is something that affects me directly as well. And that's just what keeps us going, right? So it's good to see that something with Jason's name on it is progressing out even well beyond what we could have expected.
Well, I'm sure he'd be proud of what you're doing.
Yeah,
There's no doubt
yeah.
about that.
Thank you. Yeah.
Is there anything I'm forgetting to ask that you want people to know about?
No, I mean, at this point, you know, the event's on October 19th, starts at 10 a.m. You can go to that tiny URL website. We do put the stream there. Sometimes, I mean, it's anything technology. I mean, you would know for sure it's not always going to work in our favor. So we try to do as much backup options as we can. But the way it's supposed to work is that stream should be playing on that page. You can join us on the twitch.tv links to join us direct and actually type in chat. Yeah, the one thing that we're just hoping for is that folks tune in and just that support, help us get the word out. That's basically what we're hoping for at this point.
Thanks, Mike.
Yeah, thank you very much.
Really
appreciate it.
You guys coming in, telling us about it. Really do appreciate it. So you mentioned technology doesn't always work. We got here today and we had no internet.
Typical.
So Faye was a little flustered, I think, when I didn't really care, but she said,
Sure.
You know, I'm like, you'll figure it out.
She did.
But we're looking forward to being back with you and hopefully have internet back up on Friday, because Friday morning we're going to be talking about a card show, specifically a hockey card show. And then we're also going to be talking about a wedding show as well, both happening at the Gold Horse Casino, not this weekend, next weekend. And the really unique thing about this is it's put on, one's put on by the husband, the other one is put on by the wife.
Oh, cool.
So they'll be joining us on Friday morning here at the new Lloydminster Nissan.